hello everybody. We are in Holland and I had to deliver some t-shirts to Holland. So I just grabbed the opportunity by the hair, as we say in Germany, and stopped by at my friend Herman.
Hi.
Hello. So Herman is a modified puller in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
We have not covered much of the Dutch circuit yet because they are on TV and they have different rights since we can't film there.
Yeah, true.
But if we're here, then we might as well have a little look what he's got to show us. So, as we said, you're Herman. Hi.
Hi.
So, you are how old and where are we? And yeah, just tell us who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, we are in Voorthuizen, near in the center of the Netherlands. I'm 35 years old. During my normal life, during the week, I work at a company called D-Max. It's only 3 kilometers from here. We are building engines for marine applications. Most of them are car engines that we get ready to put in boats, and we also do some developing of our own engine, a V12 diesel, 6 liters. And at the company I assemble engines, testing engines, and also some of the time I'm standing behind the CNC machines, lathe, mill, to get everything ready.
Yeah. You are kind of famous. I've gotten several messages from other people already that, hey, there's Herman guy, he's doing amazing stuff on the CNC. Badly enough, you don't have one at home. You probably do everything at home and at the workshop.
Yeah,
it makes sense. But if we just see over here, you can already see there's lots of CNC stuff on here. Super nice tractor. Come on over, tell me something about it, because this is different, totally different.
Yeah, is it different? Yeah, maybe. It's a light modified tractor, we call it here in the Netherlands. It's 2.5 tons. So for the American view, it's about
5,500 pounds. Yeah.
It's powered by an Italian engine, inline 6 Iveco, out of a truck. It's a Peugeot 10, 10.3 liters of displacement.
Which is like 600 something.
Yeah, somewhere 640 cubic.
Yeah, I think, in that range.
Now, still with the stock head. We got overhead cam, 4 valves a cylinder. We changed it a bit. Why? Because we want to do tractor pulling and get some horses out of it. As you can see, there are no injectors in it anymore. We got ignition on it to burn methanol. On the back we got 3 turbos in 2 stages to feed the engine. The engine itself is pretty heavy. Why we choose for that engine? The main thing is the technical part behind it. I don't know if you can see it, but this engine is already girdled. From here, this is the center line of the crank. And this main part is a complete girdle that's button of bolts to the bottom of the engine. And as you know, a lot of people, international John Deere, they have to make new main caps and make a girdle beneath it. And that's already stuck on this engine.
Yeah, Italian.
Yeah, used to last, or built to last. What do we change more? Normally the drive of the camshaft is behind the engine. There's a big aluminum cover with a lot of gears in it, also for fuel pump and compressor and all that kind of stuff. We took it off, make the belt-driven cam on it.
Yep.
Also put here a little box with gears on it to get our fuel pump running. And behind that there's oil pump running. To get the engine also as far as mounted on the front and everything on the front to get some weight on the nose. And what do you get more? Yeah, the internals, forged pistons, aluminum rods, counterweighted crank, stuff like that. Another cam is in it. We machine it by ourselves, get it grinded by a company. Yeah, most of the parts, as you see, are built by ourselves. Why? That's the only way we can afford to do this sport. And we luckily enough, we got a sponsor in the company where we work. We can use the machines. That's always nice. Sometimes it gives you, some people say CNC will take less time. That's true. But in the end, you want to make it nice. And then it starts to take time. And sometimes you make insane parts, or it takes, no, not it takes, but you want to make it nice. And that's the main thing about CNC. You can make it nice, but it takes some time. And aluminum, it's the same thing. We go to the back. We got here our shield protection.
Yep.
That were 2 solid blocks of aluminum. You also can use a tube and slide it over each other.
I
But
got a friend who said a CNC mechanic will start to make everything out of billet and not even think how we can make it cheaper.
no, that's. But in the end, it looks nice.
Does look nice, yes, sure. First thing that I would wonder is, I mean, I know why you did it, but most other people probably don't. Why do you have the turbochargers in the back? Most people put them to the front.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, to get weight on the nose. When we got started with this engine, when we got it built, we just put a skill on the front, and towed it up. First put the chargers in the front, engines behind it, there's a certain amount of weight, and then we changed them, and it gave us about nearly 100 kilos more on the nose. When we build it like this, then put a turbocharger in the front, and in the end it's kind of, for maintenance, like working on the cam or stuff on the front, it's easier.
For sure it is.
For stuff, adjusting your clutch, it's a little bit harder. That's the other part, but...
So what do you have to do more? Adjust on the front or adjust the clutch? Usually the clutch, no?
Yeah, sometimes both. Both. Because the engine at the time is not running like it should be, and then you make changes, and it takes a little bit work on the clutch to adjust it every time, because you slip it a little bit more maybe.
Yeah, you run a clutch pedal? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's clutch pedal to build boost, but this is also a pedal clutch. It's like your car. When you want to run, you have to release it.
Okay.
It's a pedal assisted clutch, like they
with
call
springs
it.
then, yeah.
Yeah. Why do we choose for that one? Because our starter is also in the drive line.
Yeah, true. With a centrifugal clutch, then it would be difficult to start the engine the way you do it here. Definitely.
And when the engine runs, we just take it off and off we go.
Yep.
To save weight.
So I just looked at the rear, so it's very light. So everything's homemade there, I guess, is it?
Most of it, yes.
What is it? Is it an SQHD or?
No, it's a Meritor 145.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Center section. You know it.
Yes, I do.
I bought it from you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Long time ago. Yeah. We start from the engine. That's the easiest way to go back.
Yeah.
Engine, 4-disc clutch, 11-inch, with a molinary pedal. Pedal clutch is it. From there it goes to our speed up box. Speed up 1.5 times. From there it goes to the reverser. Then it goes to the Meritor center section. And from there it goes to Mercedes Planetary.
Mm-hmm.
And from there to a set of Kaiser rims. And they are inside a set of Mitas Powerpool tires. Those have 56 lugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the degrees. And not 3 millimeters of depth of
but
cut.
a little bit more lux than the Firestone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing you can do with the Mitas. Just say how much you want to have, but yeah. And you buy them and the cutting guy says, how much you want to have? Yeah, no idea.
No idea. Oh, I thought I recommend this.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see this Planetary also with some homemade covers. That's always the nice thing about CNC. Make a drawing and put some aluminum in it, roughly.
The nice thing is if you have to make 20 more, then...
Yeah, you know where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the easiest way.
Sure it is.
It's light. Most of it's home built, yes. Like throttle, built out of a solid piece of aluminum, gear shifter.
What's the weight of the tractor without the engine? Do you know that?
No, I have no clue.
Do you know how much the engine weighs? Also no.
No.
Damn it.
No.
No, because this is actually a super light tractor, which of course has to be being 5,500 pounds, but the engine is also super heavy.
I think roughly said the engine is about 1,000 kilograms, somewhere in that area.
Yeah,
I guess.
so like 2,200 pounds. So yeah, because I would think this is the current state of the art of building a chassis and rear end here in Europe. And then I saw you run an MSD.
Yeah.
So people will wonder, hey, this is for an 8-cylinder. How do you do that?
Yeah, put a ratio on it. That's real easy.
Yeah.
Because from the cam, little belt.
Yeah.
With the 2 gears on it to get it running on 75%. Otherwise, you've got too much sparks on different locations where we don't want to have them in a certain amount of combustion.
Yeah, and then
we get a little mess.
Put it in a individual new distributor cap.
Yeah, we started with what we call electronic ignition, MSD8 dual ignition. But during the season we had some trouble to get the engine running well, and we had the idea of, well, maybe it's the ignition, we need a little bit more power. So then last time we mounted MSD20, we can borrow that to get some testing, but then we put some bigger fuel nozzles in it to avoid, if it goes running well, that we're running too lean. But then I made a little mistake, so we put a little bit too much fuel in it. So in the end we couldn't get it off the line, just drown the engine with fuel. So the MSD20 will get back to its original owner, and we bought this one, the 44.
Yep.
Get everything ignited.
It will sure ignite everything.
Yes.
Just timing those things isn't easy. Not to say impossible.
The light, and you have to send it to Postendros to make a little mark on it, so you can see that you actually on the right cutting. Well,
don't you run it with an external trigger?
No.
You could off the crank.
Yeah, it's still there because we run the.
Yeah, but I think these can handle that too.
Yeah, you can also handle it.
Yeah.
There are different opinions about that. Some say in the low RPM they are actually more accurate with the trigger, and in high RPM you can use the one that's inside it. But yeah, have to find out.
If you have to worry about 1 degree ignition timing in a turbocharged engine, being worried about power, not about destruction.
Yeah.
You're not on the right path. What we got there?
Yeah, something you would know.
Yeah, I do know. It's funny how many stuff in the shop I already know. So we got an Ellison, half an Ellison, so.
Yeah. It's
without crankshaft?
Yeah, just everything bolted together to get some size of it. Bought this engine for, not for static display, want to get it running. To make some ground runs on it, so that's the reason why there's an F-type prop drive on it.
Yep, that's where the propeller used to go.
Yeah, and during the time I already also got a big propeller. How much? It's about nearly 4 meters.
Quite, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big one.
So you're going to be one of those guys that puts these on a little trailer and moves the air.
Yeah, but
make noise.
We also had the idea maybe of to put it on a track, so that is the reason it's standing now here in the shop to get some measurements. But in the end we won't do that.
Yeah, you had a V12 tractor before.
Yeah.
With a transmesh.
Yeah.
There's still a picture up there. I have some video of that.
That's where we.
And where you got famous with by splitting the complete engine in 2 pieces, from what I remember.
Yeah, we started with that one in 2012 as our tractor for ourselves. We've been into pulling since Dad went as a spectator to events in the early 80s with his brother-in-law. Then became a team member of the Eager Beavers somewhere in the late 80s.
Don't worry.
You don't want to get a camera. Became a team member somewhere about 88. I was born in 86, so I never knew better than tractor pulling.
Yeah. I know how that goes.
Yeah, you've been there, done that. And Dad became, like I said, team member. Been there till 2003. And I always been there running around, helping what I can do. Then Dad quit. I started do some RC tractor pulling, micro pulling. Also became Dutch champion with it. Got a little tool drive tractor with a little 4-stroke engine on it. Later built a modified with 2 2-stroke engines on it. At the same time I was a team member for a compact diesel tractor. Helping them out. Later became a sledge driver for the compact diesel. And Dad still mentioned he got something for himself. And then he said, maybe want to build a mini rod. But yeah, and he likes the V8 because he was used to V8s, of the Chevys, of the Eager Beaver. Then I said, if we want to do something, we have to be something else than the rest and make something else. And then was looking on the internet and found an engine in the north of the Netherlands, and that was the Russian V12. Bought it for a few bucks, and then from there we started. Bought the old chassis of the Red Diamond. That was the first Griffin powered tractor that was running the 2.5 tons. We took that engine, There was also a diesel engine. We converted to methanol, put a supercharger on it from another Russian engine, because that engine was naturally aspirated. Put a supercharger on it from a Zvezda, and that one gave us a lot of troubles. Because here's some old compressor wheels hanging. The top one is the original one. That one had a hard life with a big backfire. It lost its vanes. And then
the other one looks like it broke a bearing or something and moved forward and ate into the cover. Yeah.
That one was only 60 meters old. We ruined it in Gamst in Denmark at the 2040 season. Because the top one is the original one. We didn't have a spare one. We contacted some guys, of a Danish guy who can help us with it to supply our one. But they asked a lot of money for it. And it was only 3 weeks before the season started.
Ah, shit.
So we got a big problem going on. Then we came in contact with Roland Verdongen, guy from the south. And he said, oh, we can do one. We can make it by ourselves. So Roland helped us a lot those days because we had 3 of them used in one season. And then everything, during the season we make changes and every time the truss bearing got out. You know that story?
Yeah, I know how that goes. These Allisons love to do the same thing.
Yeah. And because there's a little story, maybe I know if it's interested.
Of course.
You can see through the veins there are those little holes.
Yep.
They call it, what do you call it? Compensation holes.
Compensation, yeah, pressure relief more or less.
Yeah, because you got a hole. He's compressing air, and there's air here, there, and also
sucking air from here.
Yeah, and to avoid to get a lot of thrust pressure, they make those little holes in it so we can balance in the center. But yeah, probably that didn't work out as it should be because we broke a lot of bearings during the season, and every time, because we didn't have new compressor wheels, we machined it down again. And in the end, it was working. We can make multiple pulls with it without changing bearings and have to machine the wheels. And then we have the opportunity to give a demo in Denmark, in Gamst. Then we say, oh, for the next season we want to make some changes. So we made a new one with the higher vanes because that wasn't machined during the season. Then he got a bumpy ride, put off the throttle, go back on it again. Bent the drawbar, couldn't make a decent run. In the end, shut it down at, 65 meters. And then there was little smoke coming from front of the engine. And we looked inside and that was the result of 60 meters of testing.
Yeah,
that's the life of a puller. Huh?
Yep.
But
that was not when you blew the engine.
No.
That came later.
Then we knew that this wasn't the right way to go to make some horses. And then we went to the turbochargers. Build a new engine because that engine on the picture is the how do you call it? Industrial version. Mm-hmm. It's a cast iron block.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have aluminum too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we want to improve something, so we bought a license-built Polish engine out of it. It was completely made out of aluminum. Put 2 turbochargers on it. Had 2 events struggling a bit to get the fuel settings right because that's a whole different story than use a supercharger. And then in March 2015 we got everything sorted well. It was getting off the line, and then the driveline had a little issue, so it lost connection to the rear wheels.
Yep.
And then it made.
And then you made the Russian go fast, and he didn't like that.
Yeah, 5,375 RPMs. I still know that. And then from valve cover to sump, the right side of the engine was completely splitted. Luckily everything was staying together because we disassembled the engine and there was cracks from the studs of the main bearing goes up into the block. Everything was cracked. Normally you have to torque those bolts down about 5,500 Newton meters. And after the pull we can release them with the hand.
Yeah, damn it.
Because everything was stretched and
ouch.
Took down. And then we got some more spare parts to build a new engine. And then a guy showed up, said, hey, I got an Iveco engine in the shop, just take it, because it's standing for my foot, we say here in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
take it
in a way, yep.
And see if you can do something with it. And then, yes, we thought we can make a little bit more power and maybe I don't want to say easier, but
and the spare part situation is a lot better.
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot of the guys that run the transmission at the moment have a horrible time getting parts because
was the same
they're
time.
getting fried in Ukraine at the moment.
Yeah, that was the same time, and they were running in the Krim.
Yeah.
It was in the same area we blew up the engine,
Yeah. Damn it.
and so then we thought, maybe it's easier to go another way.
Yeah.
And this engine is for maintenance way easier. You know that if you want to take
Yeah.
crank out of a V12.
Just buying parts. Just simple things like, I don't know, a crankshaft, some bearings,
Yeah.
some
Bearings, a few bucks. You can order them tonight, and you get them tomorrow.
Yep, exactly.
That's the main thing about it.
Yep.
And in the end, we don't regret it.
No.
We still have to get it sorted to get everything run.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to run with these old V12s, but they're not making them anymore.
No.
Or at least the ones that they still make, they're still blowing up at the moment. But yeah, I mean, this is also nice. It's also something different. And as long as you can be competitive with it, why not?
Yeah, and in the end, very easy. We don't have the money to be in the top of the class. That's, you can be honest about that.
Yeah.
But in the end, we like the sport. We have the possibility to make parts by ourselves, and then make a tractor look nice, run it, and just compete in the sport.
Exactly.
That's our main goal.
Yep. We are at Herman's company now. We just found this. Tell me, what is it?
It's a fuel pump for a common rail system. We build it also here. There are some truck pullers who use the common rail system. And in the early days, they run the original pumps. But yeah, they need a little bit more fuel and need some nice parts. And then we machine a billet fuel pump. This is for a 6-cylinder. We also have an 8-cylinder running. He's using a Scania engine.
And they can supply how much fuel for? How much horsepower you think?
Numbers, I don't know the numbers by my head.
Okay.
But it's the main thing. This is a common rail pump, and that's the advantage of a common rail pump instead of a mechanical pump. You only need to feed the rail with fuel and not.
Yeah, it's not timed or so. That's
No.
done with injectors, but you still have to have a certain flow that it has been able to deliver.
Well, it takes a lot of stress out of the components, and this one has been on the test bench. And it takes less than half the power of you need to run a mechanical pump.
Okay, that's nice. Because in the big pumps, that's actually already,
Takes a lot of stress.
I could guess that's getting into 100, 200 horsepower, if not even more.
Yeah, on the test bench there was a meter and it takes 100 amps normally to drive a mechanical fuel pump, and this one takes only 40 or so.
Nice. Cool. This is where Herman works. We got another lathe here. This is a really big one.
Our big friend. And it's nice when you got a big tractor.
Yeah.
Some big machines sometimes.
Yeah, that helps. So then we here got one of the engines they built here. D-Max V12.
Yeah.
Tell us something more about it.
It's a V12, 60 degree, 6 liters of displacement. Available in several horsepower ranges. Started at 600 and can go up to 900. Based of using the BMW heads, the newer type, like the N47 when I'm right. The block himself is our own product, own casted block.
So you get the block casted and then...
Yeah, all manifolds.
So we kind of made a V12 BMW diesel.
Yeah.
Nice. The 3 liters, I think the American car magazine, I'm not sure which one, called it the tire shredder.
Okay.
Of course, they got so much torque. That's nice. Yeah, and more engines, more engines.
Yeah, this is also in development. The Jaguar Land Rover engines.
Okay, yeah.
Standing over there, this one's already equipped with the water-cooled manifold. to see because nowadays there's a lot of stuff on engines.
Yeah, I would say this is my God.
And here we got see there's our brand on it.
Yeah,
D-Max water cooled.
oh, cute. I'm not cute, but
And there's some of his bros waiting for their job.
cool.
But this one first started out with a billet block machine out of solid piece of aluminum, but there was so many people want to have that block that he found out it wasn't the right way to go.
No.
So it takes too much time.
As soon as you get into the numbers, then casting is the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. How many you make of these or build of these in a year?
They're still developing, but yeah, they want to go up to 400 or 500 a year.
Pooh,
That's the most that we are aiming for.
quite a bit. So why is the demand for these engines so high? Because they take less fuel, or what's the point?
Lightweight, compact. Normally, when you have a boat engine or a marine engine that represents 600 or 700 horse, you came into truck engines, and these they are.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Longer,
Then I got
weigh 400 kilos more.
the low RPM stuff, right?
Yeah. Also, this 4,500 RPM. Possible. Nice small package. Real light. It's only 350 kilos.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
And it's a V12. It has a different sound. Sounds a little bit better than a truck engine.
Yeah.
So then people are interested in that.
Oh, cool.
Small package, lightweight, horses.
Yeah, nice. Oh, great. Thanks for showing us that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I think was a nice little
Yeah,
look behind the scenes here.
Yeah.
It's not that much to see, it's just one tractor, but whatever. A little story, some here and there. That's nice. Well, thank you.
Yeah, no thanks. Enjoy.
And yeah, I will let you know when it's going online and
Yeah.
see you then.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.